in welcoming the President of ATU Local 1056, Mark Henry, Assemblymember Vivian Cook, State Senator Leroy Comrie, the Chair and CEO of the MTA, Jano Lieber, the New York State Lieutenant Governor, Antonio Delgado. And please join me in welcoming the 57th Governor of the great state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul.
Good morning, everyone. Please take your seats. Wonderful to be back here in Jamaica. Senator Comrie, am I in Jamaica every single day of the week, it seems? Vivian Cook, yes. It is wonderful to be here, and I want to first of all acknowledge the leaders who've joined me here today for this major announcement that shows where our priorities are. And I want to thank Jano Lieber, our CEO of the MTA, for just weathering all the storms, and I mean hurricanes, and I really mean storms. And so you've been an amazing partner. So glad to have you leading the lifeblood of our city, our MTA. So Jano Lieber, let's give him a round of applause. Also, you have amazing leaders here, my partners in state government. And Senator Leroy Comrie, I want to thank you for all you've done fighting for the working men and women to protect them, and I want to thank you for your leadership across the state. Senator Leroy Comrie. Vivian Cook and I go way back. She has been out there, the voice of this community, and when she speaks up in Albany, people pay attention because you don't want to get on the wrong side of Vivian Cook. She's tough, she's caring, and she's a great partner of mine. Let's give it up for Assemblymember Vivian Cook. And our leaders of our various unions that we're stepping up here today to protect. Mark Henry, who you'll be hearing from in a few moments, the president of ATU 1056, Mark Henry. I know Tony Utano could not be here today. Tony, it better be a darn good excuse, man. Someone get that back to Tony, tell him I said that. TW Local 100. Anthony Simon, I stand up, Anthony, a great leader of SMART, general chairman. Ed Valenti, the Association of Commuter Rail Employees. Thank you, Ed, for being here and all you do. Thank you, Ed. Mike Karube, Subway Surface Supervisors Association as well. And we have a number of other unions represented, DC 37 and TWI and lots more, lots more. We're all here today for one purpose. And I first of all want to say, it is so great to be at this depot, the Jamaica Bus Depot. Does anybody think this is a shining example of what a bus depot should look like? No, stop clapping. My setup is like, no, this is not what a bus depot should look like, okay? Does anybody think we can do a lot better than this? Yeah. All right. How about $500 million to make it look a lot better? We are transforming the experience. We are transforming the experience here. And I want to thank Jano Lieber and everyone else who said, this community, our workers, deserve better. 4-year process. We're going to be the hub of electric charging for buses. Did I get that right, Jano Lieber? He's making sure I get this right. Construction starting next year. Let's get that done. It'll hold over 300 buses, and we'll have a very modernized bus fleet. I want to thank everyone involved in this as well. But here we're talking about subway safety. Subway safety. Our passengers, of course. Our workers, not protected the way they should be in our laws until today. But when you talk about overall safety, I don't know if anybody's watching the news, but just last week, the Supreme Court, in their campaign of destroying our country, it seems, let me talk about what they did to New York. We have had a law on the books in this state for over 100 years. This is not a new idea. 100 years to say that there are special requirements for someone to be able to carry concealed on their body a weapon. And they decided that the governor of New York State does not have the power to do that. Does anybody agree with that one? No. So, I'm here to say this is not the old gun-toting Wild West. This is the gun regulating safer East, especially here in New York State. So we're going to prevent that from happening. So what do I have to do? I had to call an extraordinary session. That's actually what they call it. It is extraordinary, but it's called an extraordinary session, meaning that instead of waiting till our legislators who worked so hard up until a couple weeks ago in Albany, that they're going to come back not in January, but they're coming back literally on Thursday. And I thank all my partners. And I see Assembly Member Clyde Vannell sitting over there. I want to thank him for his work. I want to thank Alicia Hindman for her leadership and all of our other leaders as well who will be recognized by the Lieutenant Governor in a few minutes. They're coming back because we have to start taking our safety seriously once again, despite what the Supreme Court does. And we're going to do that. But also, let's talk about the subways. Let's talk about our buses. We know our transit system makes everything work. If that is not running physically, but also in a place where people feel safe to go to, and our workers feel comfortable showing up on the job, and that is so important. We have to keep it all moving. These are the people who take people at the crack of dawn to their jobs in hospitals and in hotels and office buildings. They take kids to kids to school on a regular basis. They take people out for their entertainment, the chance to connect with each other, and they bring them all home at the end of the day safely. And during the pandemic, and I hate to bring back a bad memory, but these are the workers who did exactly what I said while there was a global pandemic going on. So I'm going to continue to stand up and say, we protect you, and I want to thank Roberta Reardon, our Commissioner of Labor, for what she did during that pandemic as well to make sure all of our workers were safe. Let's give her a round of applause as well. But now, got some good news. Pandemic, nobody's on the subway except those who really had to get to their essential jobs, and you got them there. But now they're starting to come back. More people using the subway. That's good news, right, Jano? People coming back. That's a very good sign. But these same workers who are willing to put their lives on the line to get us where we need to go during a pandemic, they need to be protected as well, because they've always been there for us, and we will be there for them. And I'm going to continue supporting their safety on the job, continue to work with Mayor Adams to make sure we have safety, increase NYPD presence on the subways, platforms, dealing with the homelessness crisis, continuing our strong partnership to keep New Yorkers safe. But what we also have, subway workers physically assaulted, verbally abused, being spit at while they're at their jobs. It's reprehensible, and it has to end. And we're going to do everything we can to protect them from these verbal and physical assaults. Last year, there were 118 assaults, physical assaults on our transit workers, up 23% from the year before. 2,519 cases of harassment, up from the previous year as well. No one should be subjected to this in the workplace, especially those who are working for the people of New York. So we're taking a stand. Our current laws make these crimes a second-degree felony. That sounds nice, but then you have to ask, are all workers covered by this? That covers certain workers, conductors, bus operators, station cleaners. We need to protect those as well. And they've left out many frontline transit workers, and today we're righting that wrong. So I'm proud to say that the bill we're about to sign in a few moments will now cover over 11,000 more transit workers who were left out of these protections up until today. The station customer assistants, the maintenance workers, the repair workers, and the supervisors of all these workers. And I want to thank the two champions of the workers who stood up and made this happen, and that is Senator Leroy Comrie and Assemblymember Vivian Cook. Thank you. Thank you once again for what you've done. Because they're easy targets. They're easy targets. That means we have to protect them. And this will also be a deterrent to those who will now think twice about causing harm to these essential, critical individuals. So I thank everyone involved in this. I thank our partners in the legislature. I thank Majority Leader Andre Stewart Cousins. I thank Speaker Carl Heastie. because no one should ever have to fear for their life or safety while they're making sure that we all get where we're going safely as well. That's why it's important. This is a continuation of our effort to make all New Yorkers safe, and I thank all of you for being such an important part of what we're doing here today. And with that, someone, again, as I mentioned, is at my side fighting to find any way we can to protect our passengers and our workers, who knows what needs to be done. That is the leader of the MTA, Janno Lieber. Thank you, Janno.
Wow, Governor. Governor, I want to thank you for being here. You keep coming to Southeast Queens, and you keep coming to facilities that are the heart of our MTA system, not just the Jamaica Bus Depot, but Jamaica Station, and again showing that you get it. You get how New York is how transit is at the heart of New York, and you understand that it's not all in Manhattan. It's all around the boroughs, and you're showing it every day. I want to thank you again for your amazing and consistent support for issues affecting the MTA. From the day you started office, when you and I got to know each other because there was a huge operational emergency at the Rail Control Center. And then after that, the way you dealt with the impacts of Hurricane Ida, both coming out to comfort people who had had their lives impacted, some of whom were in harm's way, but also looking at the way that our physical system had been impacted. And the way you've honored the heroism of our workforce again and again as we continue our road back from COVID. You talked about the investment that's being made in this Jamaica Bus Depot. It's only possible because of Governor Hochul's incredible support for the MTA Capital Program. And we are so grateful that you stepped up and said, we're not going to cannibalize the MTA Capital Program and the vision of a new Jamaica Bus Depot, just to keep, to deal with the operational and financial impacts of COVID, that you have fought again and again for making sure that the MTA is funded in your budget. In your budget, you made it unnecessary for us to raise fares. You made sure that the MTA could pay its workers and continue to operate service at a very high level as we support our road back from COVID. You supported major new transit projects like the Interborough Express and the reconstruction of Penn Station. What could be more important to folks in Jamaica, making sure that when you get off the other end in Manhattan, there's a humane place that is part of the experience of going to work or to school, and you supported that so strongly. So we are deeply grateful. We at the MTA and all of our customers are deeply grateful for your amazing support. And I've got a shout out again to Senator Comrie and to Assemblymember Cook, but also to Danique Miller and other leaders of this community, Mark Henry and others, because the Jamaica Bus Depot project was a vision long delayed until under Governor Hochul's leadership. We've been able to get it going finally, and it will be built, and it will be a model of tomorrow's zero emissions bus operations with full electric charging infrastructure. The safety of our customers, what we're here to celebrate today, is our top priority, and that's why on this issue, it's so important to me that we're able to team up with our partners in labor. And I just want to acknowledge not just Mark Henry and the folks from the TWU, but General Chairman of SMART, Anthony Simon, and Ed Valente of ACRE. We are, that's the railroads. This is an all MTA issue of our workforce being attacked and subjected to physical, verbal, and other abuse. So the fact that we all got in this together and under the leadership of Senator Comrie and Assemblymember Cook were able to get it done really is a testament to the partnership. We need more deterrence. We can't mislead folks because we have real problems with the safety of our workers and our passengers. But with the governor's leadership and in partnership with the mayor, think of that, a partnership between the governor and the mayor. Novel idea, as Governor Hochul always says, but it is real on the issue of subway safety, and the governor's not only supporting the mayor's work with the NYPD to make cops more visible, but also supplying the mental health expertise that's so necessary for a lot of the folks who are impacting on the system and the rider's experience and the sense of safety. That is a state initiative, and I'm deeply grateful. So let me just close by saying I'm deeply grateful to you, Governor, and to all the leaders who have made this day possible. We're going to protect our workers, we're going to protect our customers, and we're going to bring New York back all together. Thank you.
Please welcome to the podium Senator Leroy Comrie.
Good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to be here this morning. I only delayed because, according to the program, Vivian Cook was supposed to come up first due to seniority and out of respect, but since the announcer called me up, we'll just follow the announcer. Go from there. But I'm happy to be here this morning. I want to acknowledge everyone that is here. I wanted to thank the governor. In fact, I was just thanking her for everything that she's been doing. She has been a governor that has been listening to the requests from members, making sure that she understands them, and then acting in a positive way. So I can say that it's been a wonderful relationship between myself and the governor and her staff as we move forward and to try to get things done on behalf of our community. But let me stick to the text because I'll get in trouble. Welcome to the 14th Senate District in Southeast Queens, everyone. And it's also the 27th Council District. Councilmember Natasha Williams is here. The 29th Assembly District, Assemblymember Hyman is here. This is the 32nd Assembly District, because the Depot Board is Assemblymember Cook, who you'll hear from in a minute, is here as well. And I just want to acknowledge my other partner in government, Assemblymember Clyde Bunnell is here, and my longtime colleague, Assemblymember David Weprin is here as well. And Jackie Boyce, District Leader, is here. I see you, Jackie. State Committee Woman Dorita Clark is here. And I'm just going to do the local, sorry, Lieutenant Governor, but if I don't announce my homies, I'll get in trouble. Go from there. And the new chairman of Greater Jamaica Development Corporation, a Jamaica resident, what's your name? Justin Rogers is here. And the chairs of Community Board 12 and 13, Brian Block and Reverend Colleen Thorbs. Sorry, I had information overload for a minute. It's all good. Reverend Colleen Thorbs is here as well. Let's give them all a round of applause. And it's only through working with them and listening to them. I have a great community. Southeast Queens is a community of people that care about issues, that are unafraid. Hey, Sharice DeBoche. Sharice DeBoche from Local 100 is here. I'm going to get in more trouble because I got to do unions, and I'll do that in a minute. But Southeast Queens is a great community. We have people that are unafraid to speak their minds, unafraid to approach me to give me the information and the knowledge that I need so that I can be an effective legislator and a positive person, and they keep me on my toes so that we can make sure we deliver for the community. We are here at the soon-to-be the first green transportation hub for any facility in New York State. So let's thank the governor. This is going to be a green depot with fully electric buses, fully operational opportunities to expand the electrical grid from here as well. Also making sure that there's a positive place for the workers not to just work, but to relax a bit. So I just want to congratulate the governor and General Lieber for making this happen, because this is a project that actually went back to the first Cuomo, and now it's finally getting done under Governor Hochul's leadership. Thank you very much, Governor. We're here today and about making sure that we help transit workers. And we have all witnessed and have data that transit and public sector workers have faced an increasing number of attacks. At least 7 workers have been assaulted in the past month. As of May this year, there were over 542 incidents of harassment and 15 assaults on the MTA buses alone. We have all seen the horrors invoked by the gunman who donned a gas mask and opened fire on New Yorkers on a crowded N-train platform in Brooklyn back in April. These incidents have to stop. And I am thankful to my Assembly member, Vivian Cook, because when I need a bill done, I take it to Vivian Cook. You know, I've been blessed to have over 30 bills passed this year, but my heavy bills, the ones that are tough, I give it to Vivian Cook to work on the Assembly side, and it gets done. So let's give Vivian a round of applause. So, as we know, station customer assistants and maintainers employed by a transit agency or authority work with and among the public to ensure that our trains and buses run on schedule, that their terminals and stations are free of debris and are sanitized at the height of the pandemic, and that's vital to our mass transit being restored to where it is today. Unfortunately, these employees are easy targets for those who seek to intentionally harm others. This bill would protect these employees and serve as a deterrent to those who wish to do them harm. This bill, and it makes it a second-degree felony to assault a transit worker. Existing laws had already protected train and bus conductors and operators, station agents and cleaners, but this bill expands the law to cover all workers, including repair staff and equipment inspectors and many others. Again, I have to thank my colleagues in government, my majority leader, excuse me, my majority leader, Andrea Stewart-Cousins, and also to Speaker Hasty. And again, as I said, you know, when I want something hard done in Albany, I take it to Vivian Cook. Sorry, Alicia. Sorry, Clyde. But you guys know she's the chair of chairs in Albany. You know, and when she signs off and agrees to do a bill, all negotiation stops and we get it passed. So thank you, Vivian. You know, and also just want to acknowledge again one person that had to leave, Selvina Brooks Powers, who is one of our council members, but she's also the chair of the New York City's Council Transportation Committee, and she's majority whip of the council. And just go back to the station for a minute. This station wouldn't happen, and it won't be designed without the input of a former council member, Idanique Miller. So let's give Idanique Miller a round of applause. And again, I have to give credit to Jano Lieber and his team at the MTA. Jano and I have had a very effective working relationship. We like to talk. We like to just talk about different things and have real arguments and discussions about what we need to do on behalf of the MTA in general. I'm honored to serve as chair of the Corporations Committee, which has oversight of the MTA. Jano gets that we have to have input, and there was proof of that on Friday when we had a 7-hour hearing to discuss the future of Penn Station, which is an important project to get right. And the fact that the governor allowed a public hearing to happen, because in any multi-mega project, there's 2,000 opinions that we got to boil down to one. And it was a sea change in government that the governor's office allowed us to have that opportunity to have that discussion so that we can get the project right. So I just want to take a minute to thank you for that, because it's important that we do Penn Station fully so that it can be the full station that is realized, and that we can have the project to be done in a way that everybody can have some unhappiness with. Because like I said at the meeting on Friday, if everybody's unhappy, we got something that everybody can live with. So we'll go from there. And I can't not thank Tony Utano and Local 100. Shari Du Bois is here. I got to thank Mark Henry, the president of Local 1056, which is the ATU chapter for this bus depot. Give Mark Henry a round of applause. Danielle Casella, the president of ATU Local 726. Daniel, I didn't see Daniel. Yeah, okay, all right, cool. But I do see Anthony Simon, the chairman of SMART, the Sheet Metal Air Transportation, a person who I've just met since I've been chair of corporations, and a person that I've come to depend on for inside work about what's happening on the worker side. and also Edward Valenti, the chairman of ACRE, also who I had a new relationship with that I've been working with on these issues as well, and I want to thank them. But also got to thank Sean Francois, president of DC 37, who I've known for quite some time, who's always been a mentor to me, looking out for this entire community, and as president of DC 37, doesn't fail to get involved in every issue that pertains to the health and benefit of workers. So I'm going to get out of the way because I know you guys are not used to me talking this long, but I'm just excited about today. As I said, I'm honored to represent the 14th Senate District. The lines are changing in November, but I'm still honored to take on the new responsibilities. This is an important opportunity to protect workers. I'm proud to have worked on this bill, but I could not have done it without my staff. Oh, let's give my staff a round of applause. Derek Davis, my chief of staff, hiding somewhere. My legislative director, Matthew Garcia, my communications person, Ian Fullerton, and everybody, my other legislative staff that's on board now for making this happen as well. This is a great day to protect transit workers, the people that have really given themselves and were on the front lines during the toughest time in our city's future, in our city's history, dealing with the pandemic. And I'm just proud to say that this is the first of other opportunities where we'll be working to enhance the quality of life for transit workers that give so much to our city. Thank you all very much.
Please welcome to the podium Assemblymember Vivian Cook.
Hello, everyone. I'm proud to be here to see you today and to work with my young man, and I will always call him a young man because he is a young man whom I've worked with when he was with Councilman Archie Spigner. That's Senator Leroy Comrie. So to all the colleagues in the Assembly, thank you for being here. And thank you for working on this legislation. I am honored to be here and to be able to do and to work with the members of the Transit Authority and to know what they have gone through. My husband was a member of the Transit Authority. He drove the A train for over 20 years. So I know what it is. You want them to get out safe, you want them to get home safe. And that's what I want. And I want to say that this governor is someone that you can talk to, someone when you see her, she smiles, and she's one of those people that don't lay it down. She keeps it going. So let me tell you something. You have to stand behind somebody and with somebody that keep it going and that's interested in the people of this state, and not only this state, around the whole country. And that's what Governor Kathy Hochul is, one of those people who give you a smile and who talk to you and you can have a conversation with. And I'm proud that she is here, and I'm proud to support her. And to all of you guys here, you're going to have a new terminal. You're going to have somewhere to sit. You're going to have somewhere to eat, okay? And you're going to be able to get home to your family. And I want some karate lessons in the next bill, okay? That's what I want. For every transit worker to have lessons that deal with the work in the karate field. So we're going to see that that happens too. So I'm going to be quiet, and I'll thank all my colleagues. Senator Comrie talked about them, he introduced them, but they're here and they're wonderful to work with, and I'm proud to be a part of this legislation. And thank you, Senator Comrie, and thank you, Governor, for coming to Queens today. And you know we love you, and we're going to make some noise in New York. We're not going to shut up. We're going to make some noise here, okay? For the betterment of the people in this community and all the communities around the state. It's not just here, it's everywhere in this state. And we're going to have something to say. And we will say it and we won't shut up. And you have a young man here that's beside you, that's working with you. He's not going to shut up either. And he's going to stand up tall and talk and be there by your side to help you. So I'm very proud of you, both of you, and thank you for being here in our community today. And thank you to all my colleagues and everyone else for being here. Thank you.
Please welcome to the podium, Mark Henry.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Again, welcome to Southeast Queens, Jamaica Depot, my home, my family. I need everyone to give my members here a round of applause for the work that they do, day in, day out. Superstorm Sandy, the good days, COVID. These men and women bust their ass, excuse my French, for this public and for this agency to run and to bring the people to their destinations in this city. I'm glad this is taking place here today. This depot that's slated for replacement. I'm glad to know that everybody on this panel understands that this needs to change. This depot needs to change. It's fixed up a little bit today, but it should be a hell of a lot better. And I want that for my members of this location. But that's not really why we're here today. We're here today because of what the state legislature has done. They've fixed a loophole in a law that allows people to viciously attack our members, punch them, spit on them, acts of violence, which has to stop. But with this law being in place and this loophole being covered by this governor and this legislature, those things I hope will come to an end. Nobody I know that comes to work wants to be assaulted. Nobody in this room wants to be assaulted coming to their place of work. The protections that are needed are in this bill. And I thank this governor for seeing and using her hindsight to see that this loophole must be covered. By signing this bill into law, this extends the existing coverage. As it was stated earlier, a second-degree felony for those who attract transit workers. Give it up for this legislature for doing the right thing by the transit workers and those other unions that are represented here today. All of them need this legislation to pass, and it has, by the governor of the state of New York. I'd like to thank all the legislators in this room that are here today, all the community leaders that have stood behind our members at our time of crisis. To Assemblymember Cook, thank you. To Speaker Hasty, thank you. To Speaker Cousins, thank you. And to Senator Comrie and Lou, thank you for doing the right thing. With their leadership and their support of hardworking transit members, this bill finally gets done. And it's all about relationships that we have with these individuals that makes things like this happen. But I especially like to thank our governor, Kathy Hochul. Please give it up for Kathy Hochul for her support through this legislative process and for coming to this depot. I think this is the first time I've ever seen a governor come into Southeast Queens to Jamaica Depot. This is a big moment for this local, a big moment for this depot, a big moment for this community. Thank you, Governor Hochul, for ensuring transit workers have the protection and the support they deservingly must have. Thank you so much.
Please welcome to the podium Lieutenant Governor Antonio Delgado.
Good morning. It's good to be here with all of you today. Very important day. I want to thank the governor for your leadership on such an important issue, standing with our transit workers, our essential workers, the work that our transit workers do, the work that all of you do, in making sure that our essential workers, whether it's delivering health care or food, get to where they have to go. It's foundational. It's essential to their essential work. So I can't thank you enough for what you've had to endure with great strength and with great determination and focus and dedication and dignity of work through some very challenging times over the last couple years. So thank you. Thank you for everything you've done, and you've done it to the highest level, and I know the governor and I are incredibly grateful for that work. I want to thank Jano Lieber. I want to thank Assemblymember Vivian Cook, Senator Comrie as well for your work leading this effort. Mark Henry, thank you for your words and your leadership as well. As noted, there were a number of electeds here in the state body: Assemblymember Hindman, Assemblymember Vanell, Assemblymember Weprin. I want to thank all of you for the work that you have done in advancing this legislation. Council Member Williams, as well as our former Council Member Danique Miller, Council Member Brooks Powers as well. It took a collective effort to see this over the finish line. And it's a testament to what happens when people can come together, be informed by the needs of the folks on the ground, the communities on the ground, and ultimately actualize that into legislation to improve people's lives. Assemblymember Cook talked about her husband, 20 years to and from, just wanted him to go home and go back away safe and not worry about harm. As all families, as all of you do, whether it's your son or your daughter, whether it's your husband or your wife, your cousin, your niece, your nephew, whatever the case might be, these are your family members and you want them to be safe, and all of you to be safe, and no one should be disrespected on the job or anywhere for that matter. And all of our transit workers, no matter what your role is, should be afforded this level of protection. And that's what this legislation is about. And so I'm here to bring us home. I'm the last speaker on the program before we sign this bill, and I'm excited to be able to now say that's exactly what we are going to do. So thank you all. I appreciate you.
As we sign the bill, we ask those in attendance please remain seated during the bill signing photos. Thank you.
Tell them what I said.
Yes,
Okay.
I will.
Okay, there's no excuses.
No,
So-
that's right. That's right.
We all set?
This is my first actual bill signing, though.
I heard that. I
I
can't
never
believe
got
that.
one with the other guy. No.
You get as many as you want with me, Senator.
I got one.
I was still on my.
That other guy picked this beautiful woman here. And we love her.
Thank you, Vivian.
How they hit you.
All right, the bill is signed.